As Ottawa steps further away from its closest neighbour when it comes to trade, Canada's tightest trading partners might now be halfway around the world. Last year, Canada's trade with the U.S. was $1.3 trillion, while trade with the Indo-Pacific was a fraction of that at just over $260 billion. But the Prime Minister just wrapped up a whirlwind tour of South Korea, Singapore, and his first stop, Malaysia. From the moment he landed in Kuala Lumpur, Prime Minister Mark Carney started courting global business leaders.
I would like to just underscore that Canada can be and is such a partner.
Carney making not so subtle points about what a reliable trading partner is.
We're at an uncertain time in the world. There's a shift. We don't know the new system that's going to emerge. This is more of a rupture than a transition. It makes ASEAN more important than ever. And it underscores the importance of reliable partners who honor their commitments, who are there in tough times, and when things are not working, who work collaboratively to fix them.
Promoting fair and free competition.
Donald Trump still stinging over an anti-tariff ad run by the Ontario government, saying this on Air Force One.
One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada. As much as I love Canada itself and the people of Canada, they've just had a lot of bad representatives. They did a fake ad yesterday. They were caught.
Carney had addressed that elephant in the room with some humor, targeting Ontario Premier Doug Ford.
My good friend, Premier Ford. Did I say good friend, Premier Ford? I said the always entertaining, the always interesting, the always unpredictable Premier Ford. Yeah, God, sorry. I don't know why I mixed the two up, President and Premier Ford. Is that on, by the way? No.
Later that week, the leaders did dine together at the same table.
That was a great meeting. They're all great. This was a great meeting.
Returning home, the president underlined that aboard Air Force One.
I have a very good relationship. I like them a lot. But you know what they did was wrong. We had a great dinner, with other countries, as you know. And I think we have a very good relationship.
Joining us now is Jean Charest, honorary chair of the Canada ASEAN Business Council. Mr. Charest, you've worn many hats, from Quebec Premier to leader of the Federal Conservatives, and now you're helping build bridges between businesses in Canada and Southeast Asian nations. Now, with many countries having trade issues with the U.S., do you see a change in who ASEAN countries want to deal with?
Well, everyone generally, Ben, is interested in dealing with Canada because, we have a good reputation that we've built over many, many decades. And in this environment, everyone's looking to diversify. Everyone understands that the United States is in a different place. And if you look at ASEAN, as made up of 10 countries, soon 11 countries, it's a good way to look at it. You'd think China 20 years ago. More than 600 million people, 10 countries, Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Philippines. There's a whole host of countries where there is an extraordinary potential for business if you're in Canada.
But do they see Canada as a reliable partner, or are there concerns that if Ottawa and Washington patch up their differences, that's where the majority of trade deals are going to stay?
The United States will always be our number one trading partner, but we have been working at this with the ASEAN grouping of countries for the last 10 years. And the idea was try to upgrade our diplomatic representation, which we have done over that period of time, and take into account, Ben, that this is a growing economy. And if you look at world growth for the next 20 years, most of it will be in Asia. Yeah. And so that's the perspective that we bring to it. Now, one of the keys, though, for Canada is getting our deal and our relationship right with the United States, because we are going to be a destination for foreign direct investment in as much as we can offer access to the American market. And I don't think that's lost on anyone. So getting that right is part of the overall equation of being able to do business with ASEAN.
You were a member of Justin Trudeau's Council on Canada-U.S. Relations. Is there a role? Are you helping the Carney government with that now?
Well, this is an advisory group that meets on a needs basis for the Prime Minister. So we met a few times as a sounding board, as two things essentially, to give a sounding of what we are here on the ground. The group is very diversified, from unions to people who have been in public administration and business. And so It allows us to give some advice to the Prime Minister. It allows him to give us an update of where things are, so that when we're out there talking about the relationship, that we're well informed on what's happening. So it's been good all around, and it's part of the reach out, as you know, that the government of Canada needs to do, not just with us, but with the provinces and with other group of Canadians, if we want to get it right in our negotiations with the United States.
Let's go back in time to when you famously said that Canada will thank Donald Trump 20 years from now, although some say it was infamous that you said that. The president helped awaken our leaders to rethink the economy. Do you think it's been worth it, given all we've gone through?
Well, yes, I think there is a big wake-up call. And a big part of what we have to look at, Ben, in the future is about us. Let's set aside the United States for a moment. We have not been very productive. We have been complacent in our trade with the rest of the world. We have not been in any great rush to build infrastructure that we need to be able to access foreign markets on energy, but not just energy, agri-food, whether it's uranium, potash, name it. We have a lot of catching up to do. And so, yes, Donald Trump sends a very powerful signal to Canadians, and let's take it that way in a positive manner, and let's get on with the job of building up this economy.
Well, you were also key in starting the Canada-EU Free Trade Agreement in 2017, and that helped eliminate most tariffs, cut through a ton of red tape between the two. Do you feel there's more that could be done to bolster that agreement?
The challenge with trade outside of the United States is motivating small and medium-sized businesses to actually go out there and explore these markets. Governments have been grappling with this issue for a very, very long time. And because the United States are geographically next to us, it's the same language, same judicial system, it's the same business culture, it becomes irresistible. Yet, Ben, as I learned when I was in the federal government with Prime Minister Mulroney, we as Canadians are going to have to reach out much further than just the United States if we're going to put ourselves on a solid footing in terms of trade. And so Europe is a good market. It's the biggest consumer market in the world, 450 million people, and not the only market. So all these answers are the right ones. Europe, Asia, and of course, the United States will always be our number one trading partner.
Well, you worked very closely with my dad, Prime Minister Mulroney. You saw him in the arena negotiating those big trade deals with the United States, with Mexico. Of course, we just listed the trade deals that you've been involved with. And now you're spending time with our new Prime Minister as he embarks on trying to climb this hill, getting a deal done between Canada and the United States. Talk to me about his skill set and how it fits compared to compared to Mulroney and compared to the work that you've done working with in 2017 on the European deal.
Well, all of us, including, I think, the present Prime Minister, learned from Prime Minister Mulroney in terms of leadership and how important outside markets are. What I see with Prime Minister Carney is someone who has a very deep knowledge of the institutions of government, international institutions. He has a very good knowledge of the machinery of government, and he may not have been in politics a long time. He's learning also that part of his new job. But as we look ahead, what I find encouraging in the case of Prime Minister Carney is a very deep understanding of how much we need to diversify our trade. So it isn't just going to be about ASEAN. Watch for him to go to the Middle East. Watch for him to go to Africa. And though a lot of Canadians may find he's traveling a lot, frankly, I think in the first year of his mandate, he needs to get out there as much as possible to meet with other leaders and start initiating some pretty serious trade agreements with other geographies in the world than the United States.
Mr. Charest, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Ben. Take care.